Okay, y'all. Right after I closed this last readout, I had an incredible ancestral and angelic, downright angelic ancestral message and synchronicity that occurred. So there was a point in my read where I spilled some cards when I was shuffling around the beginning of the read, and they splayed out down into this little shelf under this table. This table was built by my grandfather with his father by hand when he was a younger boy. All right. And the grandfather card had also come up in the last read. And so I had picked up all the cards that I saw, but I had missed two. These two cards were sitting right here, back a little further. So they were out of my line of sight, right? And this is just kind of mind-blowing to me. I'm just gonna, and so my reads, I'm really just testing my intuition, you know? Like, I could go deeper into the legitimate textbook meanings of the cards from all the different traditions and stuff. I have all that stuff mapped pretty well. But, you know, I'm a musician, and one of the things that musicians do is when they get to a certain level of understanding with the principles of music, you kind of take out everything you've learned. You take everything you've learned that's textbook, and you set it aside, and you learn how to improvise with it, right? So you don't go right to your notebooks and like go to all your notes. You don't go to the books that come with the cards in the case of the tarot, or in the case of oracles and stuff. You pull in the moment from your intuition, right? So I've been drawing from my intuition heavily. I don't really go to the mapped meanings that I have for all of these cards, right? But these two, I decided to. I had to look them up, all right, in my notes and stuff. So I just wanted to share this with you guys because it's kind of a proof and an addendum to my reading, you know. And I've been trying to stress to people that your ancestor spirits are looking out for you, you know, and because you're helping them build and move into new worlds to play in the realm of spirit by your actions here, right? So the two cards that were left behind were the Nine of Cups, and which is very relevant for me, and then the Eight of Pentacles. All right, so the Eight of Pentacles represents regeneration and new ways forward, right? The Nine of Cups represents towards emotional completion and happiness, right? Which is what these past few reads have really been about. We've been taking a little journey through these issues, you know, in the collective. And for me personally, it's been very illuminating and enlightening. So I looked through my little notebook here, and so I'm guessing this is a message from my grandfather, since the grandfather card came up in the ancestral healing. And I feel the presence of my grandfathers, you know, my actual grandfathers in this lifetime, and then many of the grandfathers in my lineage. My middle name is Patrick, which is, you know, patrilineal, very oriented towards the grandfathers, you know, the grandfather spirits and the fatherly advisors and wise counselors in lineages across time that I'm tied to. So this Eight of Pentacles card just so happens to be ruled over by Lechabe, which is God the teacher, the aspect of God that's the teacher. It's a dominion angel, and it just so happens that it is my soul guardian angel. Trippy, right? All right. So that's one that's one part of it, right? And then Nine of Cups. All right, so this is Eight of Pentacles in the angelic interpretations of the tarot is to focus and heighten self-discipline, right? So they've been seeing my hard work, and it's just really it was really very uplifting for me. And one of the angels that rules over that suit of pentacles is Uriel, which helps you to manifest things in the material realm. And Akaya and Kehetel are two angels that rule over the Eight of Pentacles, as well as Lechabe, which is my soul guardian angel, or one of many. So yeah, then the Nine of Cups, helping close out, emotional cycles and move towards feeling emotional completion. In the angelic interpretations of this card, it's ruled over by Gabriel, which is to open yourself to give and receive love, right? And it's the wish card, used for anything you are hoping to manifest, right? So these reads have been all about using your emotional energy in the right ways to help you manifest in the physical, right? And how to do things in the physical to help you manifest emotional balance. So, and establish new patterns for yourself. So this Nine of Cups is ruled over by the angel Sa'alia, right? And Ariel, right? Kind of close to my first name, Ryan. But my channel name is Ryan Patrick, and then I have in Sanskrit there kind of a spiritual nickname of mine, which is Alaya, and it's Alaya, and it's Sanskrit for home/abode, and also storehouse consciousness, which is what I believe I tap into when I'm accessing my intuition for myself and on behalf of others. So this name Sa'alia is Saalih, very close to, Sa means wife of in Commission. Sa means wife of, or feminine energetic consort or companion to Alia, right? And Alia is also part and parcel of Kalia, Kalaya, which is the Hebrew mysticism name for Kalima, right? And I mentioned at the beginning of the read, I mentioned briefly Kalima, not by name, or Makali, but I mentioned the Dark Bride, which is related to tantric traditions too. But my title in my channel is head collector at Kalia Enterprises. Because my archetype of the Queen of Swords is the one who takes the nefesh, the animal mind, and reunites it with the higher intelligence aspect of a person, which is in the ruach, in the Hebrew tradition. So I just thought this was fascinating, that these cards were left behind further back than I could see. They were out of my line of sight, so I didn't grab them when I fumbled all these cards in my shuffle towards the beginning of my read. And then I was walking by the table after I cleaned my read up, and I'm like, wait, I got two stragglers here, right? So they're seeing all the hard work that I've done, and possibly that collective is doing, right? All of the diligence, all of the sometimes sleepless nights sitting up and studying psychology online and studying spirituality and reading books and putting in all this time and effort and energy, right? To help reach, to make wishes come true towards emotional completion and happiness. So it just really tickled me to no end. And then to look at the correspondences in my little notebook here and to see, these forms of communication are very real. I just wanted to let you guys in on that. And that, you know, there are no coincidences, there are no accidents. Like, I had a moment in my read where I also realized towards the end, the very end of the read, that like, oh, I forgot to do a crossing card, the third card in the Celtic crossroad, like crossing for good or for ill, for the querent energy. And I was even saying like, I could like, you know, flip out at myself about it or get bummed about it and be like, oh, now I have to can this whole thing and like do another one or whatever. But no, I took it in stride and I said, all right, Spirit, well, give me a crossing card. And I shuffled the deck again. I listened to the directives I was offered and I shuffled the deck again. And the perfect card came out for the read, for, you know, and these two were left behind. So I was like, early on, I you know, flubbed the deck when I was shuffling, and these spilled out of my line of sight, so I couldn't see them. And then I found them after the read, these two little stragglers here. And yeah, and it was just more of the same energy. It was like, there are no mistakes. Like almost like we don't want these energies to be hidden from you, you know? But we want to like give you a little surprise and gift after your read, after you close it out. So that's the vibe I got from it. And it was very it was just very emotionally fulfilling moment for me. And this was probably the longest read I've done so far. It was very involved, and there was a lot of like me pulling history into it and all kinds of other things that I don't normally go into in my reads. I'm definitely fully winging it and improvising when I do my reads. I kind of set things up and then I hit record and I go. And so I'm gonna continue to do it that way. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys and do a little follow-up video to that because yeah, it was really cool, and it was a wonderful confirmation for me. And so hopefully some of this energy rubs off on people who view my read, and they'll get some confirmations too, you know, after the reads, you know. And I always hope for that too. I always hope that like I can contribute to giving people like a new line of sight into these things. And yeah, and I wasn't sure because before I saw these two cards sitting there, I was looking at my notebook and I was like kind of flipping through it, and I'm like, should I be like, you know, looking at the traditional, like calling some of these traditional meanings out, or should I be, you know, I've been really going off my intuition and testing my intuition, you know, to its fullest, and like really like just keeping my clairaudience at 10, you know, and trying to stay grounded in that and try and be like guided and listen for directives and cues and look at the signs and symbols myself and really just read straight off the top of my dome. And so this was very much confirmation for me, you know, that like sometimes improvising and being diligent in that way with your intuition and not relying on, you know, prefabricated understandings of things and situations can actually lead to moments of great feelings of emotional completion and happiness. And yeah, so that's what I got. I just wanted to like provide the follow-up story. I was waiting for this to like this last read to transfer to my PC, and I'm like, come on, like now I gotta make another little video for this and explain this little miracle. So yeah, miracles do happen. And I hope you're not a stranger to them. I hope you stay open to receive them in your life. All right, bless 1414 as I'm out. All right, much love, y'all. Thanks for watching.